Module 1, Financial Risks. Introduction of IMS. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, we want to congratulate you to the year 2021, which will surely be better than the previous one. We thank the European Union and the Turkish government and the Chamber of Commerce of Santiago Compostela for the opportunity to develop, together with other collaborating entities, the always necessary support for SMEs in their first business steps. The first business step of any economic activity, together with the clear knowledge of what to do at all times and how to involve or advance the value proposition, or the choice or chance of communication channels, is where you usually find saving time and taking advantage of opportunities. If we also conclude that EMS, ideas and market solutions, is a strategic consultancy in which we help SMEs to carry out major or minor projects, since we are specialists in both company structure, hierarchy, treasure, functions, policies, and procedurals, and in customers, segmentation, customer person, communication, quality and loyalty, etc. Then the cycle close. A brief description of our company is that we are a multidisciplinary team in which we help other entrepreneurs, large or small, make adjustments, needs for simpler to more complex, or evolutions and innovation in your company and in the choice, call and loyalty of your customers. To perform this action, the employer lacks the time, knowledge, or equipment to perform them in a certain time. That's why he hires consultants like EMS. The value of EMS lies in its team, multidisciplinary, and in continuous training in which all members have worked for a large company and have had or still have their own company. In this way, you can better help any other entrepreneur, because situations similar to those he lives have already been lived. Efficiency, objectively, and speed, because knowing what steps to take, in what times, and how to consequence is that these steps are taken irretrievably. Finally, the most important value of MA is the knowledge of how it consumes, what demands, and what the current customer wants already in its modes and means of consumptions and its evolutions wherever it's located. Therefore, if you have already decided to start a company or business, starting in some way your business activity, from EMS, we will show you what risks you should avoid in these first steps and what tools you must complete for it, with some complementary readings, practical exercises, and examples, so that you increase your perception of the risk and the solutions that we propose. To get to know us a little more, we give you a brief description of ourselves. From me, Carlos Majada, co-CEO and co-founder Ideas and Market Solutions, Doctor of Laws, degree in policy and sociology. I found my first company in 1985, member of the Institute European Strategic Studies of the International Consulting, Boston Consulting, 30 years of experience in business and consulting. Among other qualities, the people say I am actual and integrative. Yolanda Marquis, co-CEO and co-founder Ideas and Market Solutions, MBA, Power Administration in management and marketing in companies, graduate of optometrics and optics with a double specialty of optometry, optics and vision, higher degree of audio prosthesis, expert in audiology of the European University. He founded her first company in 2019. 40 years of experience in business and consulting, among other qualities. She's a planner and resolutive one. Now, in this moment, she's studying the MBA of ES. Okay, we have structured this training as follows. The connection duration is approximately 3.5 hours or 4, divided in as follows next. Introduction of market solution ideas, and contents and training. If you want to ask us more direct question to each particular case, it will be answered as possible as time whenever you can be of help to other people. Otherwise, we will ask you to make them through the email once the connection is finished through the consultants services, what you want. Now it's your turn to introduce yourself. What's your name? Do you already know? Sorry, perfect. Now we all know each other. Content and structure, content structure and description. Let's start then. The module of this course is module 1, financial planning. Like we said on descriptions, planning is aiming to introduce the participants to the accountancy terms and risk management in terms of avoiding big financial risks. Specific financial tools and practice will be introduced and explained to the participants. In this training, we will take a short story previous tour of basic concepts in the creation of the company to adapt the level to all participants since it can be at a different stage of your company. In this way, you will all be at the same level to understand the knowledge we provide you in financial matters. We divide it in 2 parts. Part 1, difference between company and business. Part 2, 3 basic phases for the company. First, difference in value, fall in love with the problem, not the solution. Second, target customer, which customer are you targeting? Third, financial planning, numbers, profitability, and risk. We also add that none of our customers at this time COVID has closed their company. None have had serious economic problems, and they had been doing this method for at least a year. There are numerous methods, but we recommend, of course, that you do it day by day too. On the other hand, tell you that all this information that we are going to communicate to you will be given in writing, both the presentation and a much broader text. You can take notes, but you don't have to either. Part 1. Different between company and business. Surely, several of you think it's the same company and business, but they are not. It is necessary to have a correct approach from the beginning to be able to grow and that our business idea lasts over time. What is a company? What is a business? The company has nothing to do with the business. The company is the body, and the business is how we make that body work and its economic performance. The business is the water and the amount of flow of the river. The company is a path or channel through which it passes. The business cannot exist without a minimum business structure. Large or small, every successful business saw a well-defined, well-structured, and differentiated business structure in its functions. The basic structure of any company is simple and marks the way in which the real and professional operation of the business and the establishment of business must go, given its part of it the greatest possible usefulness and validity. Department of Human Resource and Training, Economic, Purchasing, Accounting, Sales and Distribution, Sales Planning, Improvement, Optimization. It is not necessary to hire professional specialists in these fields, but within the current organizations, everyone has to have perfectly delimited their functions, and above all, responsibilities over them. Even each of you can have several responsibilities at once. Sorry. Anyone knowing what they have to do professionally in their position as a company normally excuse the actual management of the same. More, the powerful success, stagnation, or failure of any company is directly proportional to the time it used to manage and improve the structure, because without it, the business cannot exist fulfilling normal profit margins. However, the business is not the same as the company. The business can be considered as the application of the objects, the structure of organization, and the dreams and concerns of the entrepreneur. It found a company with a specific objective, with a purpose, philosophy, and a very personal concerns in addition to that of the economic returns provided to the investment. When the company meets its objectives, improves its numbers, improves day by day, in addition to continuing to maintain and grow, what has left to do is or clone itself as a business model to follow in various possible ways, or implement the most intimate personal concern on all its forms. Business is what the customer, our close friends, employees, suppliers, future customers see, feel, and enjoy, and how do they do it as they feel it through order, service, or professionalism, and also with other family values and social responsibility that we exercise as a flag of form of action. The visible business is the effective application of the company structure regarding how to live, experience, and enjoy our services to direct future and indirect customers. The business itself integrates countless data, details, reference, and details that we can include in the following summary: point of sale, an organization of function, target audience to which it's addressed, general and extra services, quality of services, and loyalty. It's important know that you stop and think about whatever you know have a company or a business. Whatever your current situation, the most important thing for you to avoid economic risk is that you always do everything with a business approach, even if it's only you who execute everything yourself. With a strong structure, it will be very difficult for you to go through complicated situations. Part 2. Sorry. Their basic phases for a company. As we've seen before, the structure of company is the right way to achieve all the goals that have been set and make the initial idea last over time. But it's not done alone. It's a daily and constant work in 3 concrete stoplights. We call the basic parts of the company. These items should never be forgotten. In fact, there are numerous companies that have them printed in their offices, facilities to direct visual reads, so you never forget them. They are as follows: the differentiating value of my company. What are my target customers? What are the numbers that must be made across enterprise before they are created? And then differentiating value of my company. This point is the most important of any company. The first thing you need to know how to respond when you create a company is: how is my idea different from the others? Why do they have to choose me? What do I bring back to what's already there? It's looking for the difference between you, your business, and another, so you can explain it to your client and choose you. Task. We recommend that you answer this question in writing, so that you work internally and look for the answer. It's not a simple matter, so take all the time you need. This point will depend on the success of your company. What are my target customers? Target customers are the people we are going to target our products or services. We need to know in detail everything about them: man or woman, age, location, how much it consumes me, when that slows me down to consume me. This creation of a perfect profile for your company is called customer persona. This figure represents Which is your ideal customer? Which will be the perfect one for your company? To do this, there is a table with all the features that you need to know about the client. This table summarizes all the variables we provide it. Get to know him better. Demographics. Where do you live? Age, social class, sex, weight, biography. Where do you work? Family, who, his history, your plan or her plan to the future. Profile and lifestyle. How is it? Personality, hobbies. Are they in your working life? Our weekend at work, on vacation, attitudes, work opinion, what things are important, values, spirituality, objectives and challenges. What you are worried about, it hurts, that he'd like to change, what's the worst thing that can happen to him, what you buy as or what benefit you are looking for. Stoppers. What stops him or her? What's bothering you? What can't it stand? You never have to. Alternatives. How do you solve those stoppers? Do you trust my competence to do that? Are you happy about it? What I'm offering, what really appeals to you? What service do you really value? And of that, what is the plus for him or her? Efforts and costs. What do you give up on hearing you? What's your effort? What sacrifice does your service generate? How to see us about our competition? Do you know your competitors? To whom? What do you think of them? What can you get over? Better understand the funnel conversation with channels are right to arrive. Who are you seeing? What's media or RSS do you use? How do you search for information? Do you search or have to be socket? How do you make the decision? What do you look at? What value? What's your value? What are you asking? Influencers. What impact do you get? What do you admire or follow? What do you trust? After buying. How and when it uses us. Different customer persona used for different purposes. At different times, differently. What you expect and what you get. What did you expect? Are you happy? How much? Do we exceed your expectation? No? Why? Fidelity. Is he faithful, or does he care the same? Why does he want to track you down? Recommendation and virality. Do they recommend you? When? Who? Why this? Why not? Who do you recommend? Can and multiple profiles must be made, not just one. We recommend that if you are already open, do this analysis about one of your customers to know if it is really the one that interests you or not. If you are not open yet, you must do so in an immediate way, looking for your ideal client. Can and multiple profiles must be made, not just one. We recommend it that if you are already open, do this analysis about one of your customers to how if it is really the one that interests you or not. If you are not open yet, you must do so in an immediate way, looking for your ideal client. Numbers and accounts. This section covers the numerical conclusion of all the above, where we will see what numbers to consider, what expenses, investments, how to make the catalog of service knowing if there is profit margin or not, and second part, where we will make the pattern of how to do it day by day once the business is already open and take as little risk as possible. The company is on the basis that it's profitable, so at least you have to be aware of what needs to be done. We propose it point by point and in the format of Excel so that you can make your own accounts. To do this, we will work with the Excel tool, but it can also be adapted to anyone who wants to do it by hand. The points we discuss are: create MPV, minimum viable product. What is the minimum I can land with maximum performance? Post the investment. What I've already spent, as long as you want to recover the investment, count the time you have spent. Post the fixed expense required to be open. Calculate the cost of the company per minute and impact on price. What a catalog of service and know if it's profitable or not. Day-to-day treasury to avoid risk and save. For example, daily and cash closure, managing all incoming, digitizing invoices, monthly management closure. Which is the minimum value product? It's common that when you open a company, expenses, investment, recruitment are posted as if when we opened the first day, we were already going to fill the place. Stop, please. The first thing we have to do is, as before, a question. How minimal can I open? Important and first case to avoid risk. If you don't want risk, then don't provoke them. No renovation all over the place. You can just condition one part of the premises and leave the other for when you already know you are doing well. No hiring on personnel without actual sales data. First, open the doors, and as your sales increase, you hire staff for what you really need, and at times that's important. And so, with each of the investment you think you need to make the open doors, you can always spend less. The financial tools to get your business open, we will always recommend that you don't be in debt uneases. You calculate your numbers very well to return it as soon as possible. Keep in mind that whatever option it is, you should never put all the money you have or leave you. At most, 60%, you always have to leave a necessary amount for unforeseen events, months that complicate sales, etc. We list the most common options and the risk. First, on funds. It consists of opening your company with your own money. Risk, it's the most advisable at first, but never spend it all. Family and friends, it's about asking your nearby environment for money. Risk is the simplest but the last advisable. Since in the event that your company does not go well, you will always owe money to the family and you will have no option to be able to solve it. Bank credit consists of asking the bank for the money. Risk, it's money you always have to pay back, no matter what happens to your company. It has the advantage that in case the company does not go well, you can always use your own resources and help the family to solve it and not have debt. Investors, it's money that external people give you to develop your product. Risk, it has the advantage that you don't have to return it, but it does mean invest return deadlines and objectives. Whatever the opinion, it is a section that is always calculated, as we will see you below. Now let's explain how it all translates to the numbers. They are not complicated, it's a step by step. You can get to the last one if we haven't done the last one. We will explain it to you through the Excel tables, and so it is much more graphic. This system applies to small, medium, and large enterprises. Remember, the big companies before they were small. The goal of performing this number is to make it more accessible and comfortable on the part of all of you. By following this procedure, you will be able to obtain an objective vision of how the company is really to analyze how to make its process more efficient. Excel carries a logical timeline. First, what investment I have made to open and how long it takes to recover it. We found out what our monthly fee is. Second, what fixed expenses I have per month. We list all of those we have and add the depreciation fee in point 1. Personal costs are or not accounted for at this point. Third, how many hours and minutes my company is open and how many days. We automatically know what the cost per minute of our company is. Fourth, we make a catalog of series of what we sell: coffee, pants, advice, etc. The job of any entrepreneur is to know what is the cost per minute to get the maximum income in that time. The Excel file consists of 2 sheets: cost per minute and investment. You can see now. First, we will start by explaining the sheet investment. The first table that we will address will be that of investment. For this, we must take into account that the cells shaded in gray are the ones that should be covered. The rest of it are automatically converted, therefore should not be touched. In this table, we have a column of investment carried out by any company, which includes the amount paid for the same depreciation base, and another column with the years in which we want to amortize this investment, years when you want to replace this article. Let's look at it in an example to make it easier. Suppose we have several investments with different prices and they are amortized in different years. In these examples, we have 3 machines. Machine 1 has a value of 10,000 euros, which is amortized in 10 years. Machine 2 is worth 35,000 euros, with its amortized in 15 years. Machine 3 is worth 5,000 euros, which is amortized in 3 years. Can you see in the table? Following this example, the following table includes the total investment figure total, the average depreciation years annual average, the total annual depreciation annual total, and the monthly depreciation monthly. Can you see in the table? In this example, the total investment of the 3 machines is 50,000 euros with 9.33 years, and average depreciation and annual depreciation figure of the 5,355.14 euros, and the monthly depreciation of 446.43 euros. I mean, it's going to take 9.33 years to get back everything we've invested. These figures will vary as other machines with different investment or depreciation are included in the investments, in the investment table. Now, let's move on the second table of this sheet in which all the fixed expenses that any company can have are developed. Rent, light, water, telephone and internet, cleaning, software, advice, and amortization. You can add the ones you want. The more detailed is, the better, because the fewer enforcing will have. Enforcing events are the source of risk. Can you see in the table? We can see that all sections except depreciation are grayed out, since this thought is linked to the monthly depreciation total of the table seen above. Let's give values to this chart to see it's more clearly. Rent, 1,000 euros, light, 80 euros, water, 50 euros, phone and internet, 100 euros, cleaning, 100 euros, computer programs, 100, advice, 150 euros. Can you see in the table? In this section, the total fixed expense are 2,026.43 euros per month. But not only do we want to know the data of monthly fixed expense, but we want to go further and know what is the cost that the company bears for every minute that it opens. This is critical because your company is spending money every minute it's open. This data will give you many details. For example, if your Santiago is correct, or you have to open more hours so that you can be profitable, or you have to sell more. Important. It is common for many companies to close because they don't have their hours adjusted to their expenses, and it's very easy to solve. This step is very important. Continue. The cost per minute is necessary to calculate it, since its services that the company offers will not only bear the variable cost of the product necessary to carry out the services, it will also have to bear the cost per minute of the staff and cost per minute of the overhead. To do this, we change it in Excel and place ourselves in the first sheet, cost per minute. Let's start covering the payroll table that includes both payroll and employee social insurance. We had calling payrolls with numbers. Payroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see? Yes. Let's exemplify this data. Employee 1 has the payroll on 1,800 euros with 160 hours in work. Employee 2 has a payroll 1,300 euros and 140 hours of work. Employee 3 has the payroll of 600 euros with 80 hours of work. Employee 4 has the payroll in 750 euros with 85 hours of work. Employee 5 has a payroll in 1,200 euros with 100 hours of work. The total payroll and social insurance are 1,800 650 euros with a cost per minute of 0.81 euros. Also, what interests us in the cost per minute of each worker, since the work will be carried by a worker, not all. Can you see the cost per minute? Moving to the next frame, to the left of the previous one, in this section, you only have to write down the number of hours that the establishment is open. Suppose in this case it's 160 hours per month. Can you see in the table? In this case, the cost per minute with respect to overhead is 0.21 euros. Finally, we will look at the larger table. The first part of the table, the first column, is in which we describe the service provided by the company: coffee, pants, consultation, etc. In minutes, you must include the time in minutes that take the company to perform its service. It's important. This cost includes the product cost necessary to develop the service: coffee, for example, coffee, milk and sugar, or tea. In the personal cost per minute column, the employee performing this service must be selected because, as we have seen above, each employee has a different cost per minute. And the total spent per minute column, which is automatically converted by the program, links overhead per minute calculating the table above to the minutes of each service's completion. On the other hand, the total cost is the sum of the variable cost of each service, the cost of personnel per minute, and the total expenditure per minute. The price column, you must include the price for the public that each service has. That is the final price that the customer will pay. The last column to cover is the percentage of taxes included in this service. Once covered, we will know the total taxes associated with each services. It is at this point that we must subtract from the prices that total taxes, thus obtaining the net prices. Since taxes are money that's never yours, it's a state foundation, and it's better never to count on it. To obtain the net margin, which is the key point of this table, since it's the benefits that each service leaves us after removing taxes, that is what's actually earned or lost with each services. The last column is the recommended prices, that is the prices that the service will have to be profitable. This is the total multiplied cost per 2.5, which is the factor we recommend, although you can always put the one you want. Let's take an example to see it more clearly with two services. Can you see in the table? Services 1 lasts 25 minutes with cost of 5.5 euros carried out by employee 2 with a per minute cost is 0 €6.50. Moreover, the price is €75 with a tax of 18%, which leads us to net margin of €3.42. Service 2 lasts 40 minutes with cost of €7.5 carried out by employee one, with a cost per minute of €0.90. Moreover, the price is €50 with a tax of 1%, which leads to a net margin of less €1.28. Therefore, we can see the service 1 has a positive net margin of 3.42, while in service 2 is net margin in negative less 1.28. Once we have the result of the net margin, we need to look at the circumstances that have led service 2 to have this negative margin and how to improve services. If they give you negative results, these are the solutions. Reduce the times, improve the process in your organization. Second, cost reduction of your products, improve your providers, or don't include so many things in your services. Third, reduce your fixed expenses. Fourth, rise to sell price if necessary. So far, the first numerical part, the initial treasure, we have seen is essential to work in a real environment. Everything has a solution if you are in reality. Therefore, being positive of negative numbers, the sooner we know the reality, the sooner we can put a solution to it. Let's get on with the day-to-day. What do you have to do every day to have no problems and even safe? It all starts in managing daily income. We do a step-by-step process that you must do. First, open at least 3 accounts at the bank. The first one for all income and all expenses. Second, another for taxes. Third, another for savings. Second, direct debit expenses, taxes, and income to each corresponding account. Third, every day you have income into your account, you have to calculate the tax amount and transfer in the tax accounts. Every month, you have to do the calculation of how much tax you've collected, and that the advice or yourself tells you how much tax you have paid. Do the subtractions between them, and it will tell you how much money you've overpaid. In a second phase, it also calculates how much you pay annual taxes. In Spain, for example, you pay 25% of your profits. So what we do is we set aside 2 taxes, VAT 21% and corporation tax 25%. Transfer the money that the savings accounts, and that tax money, it's become savings. It's a very simple step, but very effective. There are even companies that with that savings money can make more investment and advertises, etc. These are the two phases of numbers that you must consider to avoid risk. We have created it with a reality that we apply to all our customers, and that has always worked. We hope so do you. We're not going to fill you with recommended books. Sorry. Actually, with you read these two, you will be in the world of today's company. In a simple of a clear way, they are two very interesting books that can help you to see with another strategic point of view to your company, and that you don't miss anything. That's why it's important to use tools in workbooks or Excel, so that our errors are always forward steps. The first, business model generation, Alexander Auswander, and Yves Tigner, and Lean Startup, Derek Rice. We hope that this case will help you to take the last risk possible in your companies. They will send you all this presentation along with more contents developed so you can use it. Thanks a lot, EMS team. Thank you very much.